I'm recording now.
All right.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. I have now finally read A Court of Thorns and Roses, the first book.
Hey.
And now we're gonna give our review. Megan had read this. Jesus Christ. Read this.
Like
I don't know
2
how long
years
you
ago.
read. I was gonna say it's probably been a long time, but Becca read this. What, in like October?
Yeah, around October
that
last
time?
year.
Mhm.
I
I think I read this exactly like almost 2 years ago. It was around this time.
And I'm like the virgin of the group, so I'm pretty far behind. So I'm trying to catch up here. But I don't know. How did you guys want to kind of start this? Did you want to go like maybe? I guess we could talk about the beginning of the book in general, just meeting Feyre, right? That's how they pronounce her name, even though it's like spelt weird.
Yeah, it's like Feyre. Like the yeah.
Because like I was sitting there reading it like Feyre because it's R-E at the end, but then like her sister says it, the pronunciation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Point. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna call her Feyre then. Just stick with that.
Yeah, that's correct.
But yeah, no. Started out with her in the woods, and she's out there hunting, and she just like killed this wolf out of nowhere, and she was sitting there contemplating if it was a fae or not, which I was like, I don't know. I was like, how can you even tell? And I just felt bad for her really in her whole life. Living with her like awful sisters. Well, her older sister was more of a bitch.
Nesta, you mean?
Yeah, Nesta. She was more of a bitch. Elaine is just like living in her own damn world, which
Yep.
I guess I get that as a middle child.
Well, they're not though. In this book, they're what are they, Becca? Are they in their 20s?
They are in their 20s. So yeah. Elaine is the middle child, so Nesta's the oldest. I don't know if they touch on Nesta's.
I think she's 24 here.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah, I
20s
wasn't
because
sure.
Feyre's 19.
Yeah.
And you gotta guess a couple years in between each. So.
Yep. Yeah, so
Yeah,
Feyre's
early
obviously the
20s.
youngest, like kind of teenager-ish age.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the other two are definitely in their 20s.
And it definitely sucks because then she has to sit there and like provide for her family as being the youngest. Her dad is just I don't even know what to feel about him.
A husk of a man. A waste of space at sometimes.
But eventually, you know, he's like in his own world as well with Elaine. But she's the only like nice one, really like giving him any attention. Whereas like Nesta and Feyre don't really care much for him. And I feel bad for Feyre because she's got to take on this responsibility, even though it also sounds like her mom was a bitch as well, or wasn't the motherly kind. I would say.
No, yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know if in this book if they really say how she is, but yeah, I think she was just kind of not the parental type of person. Like she's cared about other things.
Yeah, and then eventually we get to the part where they're like, "Hey, what you killed a fucking fae," and then Tamlin shows up. Well, you figure out what his name is until afterwards. And I was like, "Oh shit, what the fuck is happening?" I was like, "What is this wolf thing?" And then like all of a sudden it's like, "Okay, well you can live in this castle. Well, not really castle, estate with me. And you're not my slave or anything like that." And I was like, "Huh, that's weird." But
you are, but you're not.
yeah,
That's fine.
And I know this is gonna be wrong because like TikTok has already I've already seen things on TikTok in regards to like Tamlin, and everybody hates on him, and I know like everyone will love him in this first book, and I don't know what's gonna happen afterwards, but I just have to say I really enjoyed I guess their relationship and like the building of their relationship. It was slow though. I'll have to say that.
Yeah.
This book took me, I don't even know, 2 weeks to read, and it's only 400 pages because I just like had to like get myself through it. I'm like, all right, gotta read it. Like it wasn't horrible though when I read it. Like I enjoyed their relationship, and I think it has to be that way. Maybe for like what happens next in the book. Like I guess because I don't know, Tamlin might, you know, break my heart, and I'm not ready for it. And basically trying to build that relationship, make you feel that way towards him, make you really like him and really like fall in love with him. So we'll see what happens next. But I did like actually love all of their interactions, and like I messaged you guys when he like finally said like I love you or whatever. I was like, guys, I'm gonna fucking start crying.
They
And I was like,
definitely
"I wanna
were
put a blue
sweet.
tab." Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All of their little like romantic moments of him taking her places and whatnot were really sweet. Even some of like the little spice stuff, like when he like bit her neck, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I
I
think
really like that sort of stuff. But
so. It's funny because I'm totally on the opposite end for you guys. Or not now, but when I read this book, because I read this book. This was my first book. This is why this one holds such a special place in my heart, because this is the first book I read since I can't even tell you the last, I think 10 years ago. Like, I think 2013 was the last time I picked up a book. So then I had a friend that was like, you gotta read this book. Like, or she didn't really tell me you gotta read it, but I always asked her, like, oh, what do you, because she had dragons on her, tattooed on her arm, and I was like, what are you talking, and there's no dragons in this book, but I was like, oh, like, is that from a book or whatever? She's like, no, it's from this, but, you know, there is this book series I read, and blah, blah, blah. And then she told me about it, and I went with her to go and get it, and, like, I didn't even care at the moment that there was no spice, because I had not read a book that, like, pulled me in so long that I was like, you know, I'm just reading this, and I read it, I think, in, like, 3 days. But I do see where you're saying where it was, like, slow in that aspect. Like, looking now, because we're all, like, dirty perverts, that there really was none. And I was like, God damn it. Okay.
I honestly... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I totally agree with you. So Megan put me onto this book. So this book also holds a special place in my heart, only because it is, like, my first fantasy book, probably since, I know that we're, like, parsing genres here, but like Twilight.
Oh, for sure,
books.
yeah.
So definitely about a decade too. You know, and again, romance is my thing, and that was definitely one of the like downsides I thought to this book. But also, I think we're reading it in the time of like it blew up on Book Talk, and maybe Megan didn't get that point. So like you're getting a lot of info Brie that people just refer to the whole series as ACOTAR rather than like the actual first book.
That's a good point.
So like my expectations were a little higher too for like you know the spicier scenes, and yeah, I agree with you. I think it was a little slow moving. But now that you're done with the first book, it is like, oh, it's gonna creep up real fast on you. You're gonna need answers, and you're gonna eat through them. Because I was like live tweeting Megan when I read this a couple months ago, and that was my complaint. So I was like, it's really to me slow, and I wanted more spice, but I think that, like you said, I think that you're gonna get more of that, and you have 3.5 more books to go. So
and you get it fast too.
Yes,
that's why I said don't start the second one tonight, like in between now and or before and this recording, because I was like, you're gonna start it and not stop, because it literally immediately starts grabs you in.
Yep.
Like doesn't hesitate whatsoever. Like it's just an immediate. It's like she just wrote 1 and 2 and just cut it in half. And, like, it just started the second one.
Yeah, I didn't honestly mind that there wasn't a lot of spice in this, because, like...
There was just a lot going on.
I felt like their romance itself was just so rich.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, like, I felt like I had butterflies. Like, reading, like, when they were, like, having these little moments. And, like, I'm telling you, when he said I love you, I was gonna fucking sob. I was like, oh my god. And even when he says it again later on. So, like... later on when she's doing like her trials, and then like they finally are alone for like a split second.
Yeah.
And then like what's his name? Rhysand,
yeah. Yes.
Yeah, like comes in and it's like comes in and like stops them, and then he doesn't even say anything. Like no other words, just whispers, I love you. And I was like, fuck. It's like I just want them to be together so bad. And I was like, God damn it. Like it's just so sweet, and like I just genuinely liked their relationship. So I think that's why I liked it. I don't know what else is there to talk about. Amarantha's a fucking bitch.
Well, then we can. I guess we could talk about characters.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because we'll get to her eventually. We could start. I opened my special edition because I was like, I want to be on the same page as you guys.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna jump around everywhere. That's why I was like, all right, let me talk about like the beginning of the book, and then like what happens after that, and then like how I really enjoyed their romance scenes together, and then I was very upset like when it got to a certain point where now she has to all of a sudden go away,
Go
and I'm
home,
like, the
yeah.
fuck? I was like, no, we can't just leave. Like, and I hated how, and I don't know if this is what people felt about Tamlin as well, like how he was kind of just letting whatever happen. Like he was kind of giving up on her in a way.
Oh, towards the end and the trials?
Like,
Or
not
sending her
for
back
the
home.
trials, just like sending her back home. Like he wasn't really trying to defend her. Even like Rhysand or Rhys would show up and he was there. He's just like begging on the ground. It's like,
Yeah, he wasn't really making an effort.
I would prefer somebody probably like Zayd and Ryerson, who is like, you fucking touch one hair on her head, I will murder you. But like, I also understand that he also doesn't have the power that he used to have.
He also has a different temperament as, like, Shadow Daddies, you know? Like, he's the Spring Court High Lord, so it's a different temperament.
And then I agree with you, Brie. I kind of wanted that like fiery, passionate man, but I also think like his spirit was broken under the mountain.
Yeah.
But again, that speaks more to like a Shadow Daddy type personality, like that burning passion. I mean, not that it wasn't there, just like, you know, it didn't like completely encompass every single action he had, but it's definitely like a different take to at least the kind of books that we're reading like, currently. So I mean, everyone's different. Like he's not like the quintessential, you know, male main character, but I agree with you there. Like I was expecting a little more fight.
Once he got his powers back, then he was like, absolutely, I'm gonna shred this bitch to pieces.
Exactly.
But
I also think
too,
he was without them for what, 49 years?
Yeah, 49, 50
So it's like you start to grow used to what you can do.
Yeah, and then Amarantha's a bitch.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, she is. I couldn't fucking stand her.
I hated her so much.
Honestly, when it got to the part where the last part where they're like taking the bags off their heads and everything, I thought this had two boys and a female.
I lost it.
And said young Faye. I thought it was gonna be like Alice and like her two nephews.
Oh,
I was gonna be like, this fucking bitch.
Look
I was
at
like,
you.
She better not. I was gonna.
I did not think that. That's big brain of you.
I thought it was gonna be her sisters.
I didn't even think that either. I think I was just so like scared. I was like, I don't know what to think.
But yeah, I thought it was gonna be like another fucked up mind game, like you're saying, like someone she knows and loves, like that she doesn't want to do this.
Yeah, damn. That.
I was really scared. That's why I messaged you guys. Oh, guys, I'm so scared.
Oh, that was the part you were at? That's funny.
Yeah.
I told you, last 100 pages, Sarah fucking she
really does.
Doesn't fucking let off.
She's giving me PTSD with that. Every book I read, I get to like the last 100 pages. I'm like, oh god, what could happen? Because it's every fucking book she does is his last 100 pages.
Oh, the last 100 pages, I think, in any book are just like rough.
You get stressed.
How do you feel about Lucian, Brie?
I liked him because I felt like I enjoyed like their little banter that they would have like at the table and stuff like that. I think he was kind of just like testing her out, especially because he knew because they know of the curse. I feel like he was kind of trying to like push them together in a way, like little subtle things.
Yeah.
But he definitely respected her. I feel like maybe not in the beginning when he kind of like sent her somewhat to her death and he like hesitated to go save her, but maybe he did that because he wanted Tamlin to save her. You know? I don't know. I feel like you'd feel stronger feelings for somebody who would save your life. So like he didn't want that to fall on him. Maybe he wanted Tamlin to be the one to do it.
Yeah, I don't think I put that together when I was reading, but that I mean, that makes sense, right? You definitely want them to like get that bond.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I have no issues with is it
Lucian?
I was saying Lucian in my brain.
Yeah, I think I said Lucian.
Yeah, no, I actually liked his character a lot. I was really scared for him during the second trial
Oh, yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah,
I
where
was
she
like,
can't read.
She can't
Oh
read.
my god.
God damn it.
That was my fucking favorite part.
Oh.
I was texting my friend at the time. I was like, she can't fucking read. Dumb
Bro, that
bitch.
part
God damn it.
stressed. So stressed.
And then he's like,
There's-
wait, she can't read. Oh my god. I just thought that was the most fucked up part, really. Oh my god.
I just thought TikTok too. So like after I finished the book, I'm like, okay, now I can like look at TikToks now. But I went Akatar book 1. That's what I searched up.
good.
So nothing
Yeah,
else.
be
popped up.
careful.
Brie, you
Because
gotta
I was
dodge them
like, wait a minute.
spoilers.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, gotta be careful there,
There's
because you're gonna get a bunch.
So I'll have to send it to you guys of like what they were saying.
Mm-hmm.
But I was cracking up. It was that scene. But yeah, no, I really like him. I feel bad for him too because he's been through a lot, probably just as much as Tamlin has with his family. And then his family's fucking there. They pissed me off. I was
Oh,
just
yeah.
like fucking giggling at him and being like, I'm like, oh, you sons of bitches. I hope you all die.
Well, you know what, Brie? They don't get better, so
Oh shit.
you can keep that in mind there.
That
we'll give
fueled the
you that.
rage.
Yeah, they don't get better.
God damn it. And he also lost wasn't he? He liked Immortal Woman as well, right? Was it him?
Lucian?
Um,
No.
Yeah.
no, that Jurian.
Yeah, that was Jurian. Well, no. Wait.
Wasn't Jurian the human?
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh,
He was a human. He wasn't.
He
He,
fell
was in
in
love
love
with a
with-
fae.
With-
Okay, I reversed
With
it.
Her
Amarantha's
sisters.
sister.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
like betrayed her.
Yep.
And killed her sister. So it wasn't true love. He didn't really actually love her.
Yeah. Why am I forgetting her name? Holy shit.
But he fell in
Right.
love with somebody.
Clythia. Yeah, Clythia. They only name her like once. That's why I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, no, Lucian was... Hold on, before I even say anything, because... I don't know, I might be risking it all here.
I have the book open.
Yeah. And because I don't know where it is in the book, and I know it. Hold on.
Trying to like
I don't,
flip
yeah.
through my
We don't want
pages.
to...
I was literally prepping before this talk. I was like, I need to know when to shut my mouth
Mm-hmm.
so that you can get like the full effect.
yeah.
No spoilers.
Because I never annotated these books because it was before
Just
annotations.
mm-hmm. Same.
And I've read them all 3 times, so I'm just going off of what I remember. But Jessamynda.
That sounds right.
No, she was Fae.
She was Fae. She was lesser Fae?
Yeah, she was a lesser
basically
Fae. She was from the Autumn Court. So she was just someone who lived there. I'm skimming the Akatar Wikipedia, guys.
I'm like flipping through my book trying to be like, what did I actually like or tab of stuff when I found out about Tamlin being the High Lord.
Mm-hmm.
I have little things that made me laugh. So like, I think that what was that big monster? Was the Bogue or Bogey?
The bogey.
I called it a boogie. While
A
I read it,
boogie!
so that I could just giggle when I read it. But
She fought the boogie.
but I loved when like Tamlin was going out to like find it, and she goes, "I had no idea how anyone could face that immortal horror, but it wasn't my problem."
Mm-hmm.
And just because Lucian wasn't going to eat anymore didn't mean I wouldn't. And I said, IDK, why I laughed. She just says, sounds like a you problem.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She really did. She's fucking crazy.
I love her humor. Like when someone does or says something and just what she'll say in her mind, but she won't say out loud. Like a very just like, all right, I guess I'll go fuck myself type personality.
Yeah, human Feyre's a fucking nut.
Very, very sarcastic.
Like, she don't care about no one. And I love that for her in this book. I really do. I'm trying to skim... Oh yeah, I just got to the Bogue, actually. Right here. I'm trying to... I have a question, but I can't remember if it's in this fucking book.
Highlighted all their little...
Here, wait. Bree,
Yeah.
mute your headset.
Oh, wait, hold on.
We have to
Because I feel like Becca will remember.
The council has to meet.
Is it in this book where she realizes that she's walking through the court and she thinks she's alone, but she's not. And it's just the Fae. She can't see the Fae. And it's like the jokes where she walks around like picking her nose, thinking nobody's there, but she's like surrounded by people.
Oh, I want to say that's when she goes back.
Okay, then I won't say it, but it just like sparked in my mind. I was like,
yeah, don't say anything. I don't think so, but like they blend together, so.
I know. I was like, oh. All right, I'm texting her to come back.
Okay.
I was about to say, Brie, come back, but I forgot she couldn't hear anything. Okay, so we can't ask you that question, Brie. Sorry.
Okay.
Moving on.
Can't ask.
Let's see.
Did you guys know what the answer to the riddle was?
Yes.
Yeah.
You did? Like right away?
Right away.
I doubted myself for sure, like, because I was thinking, I was like, oh, is it love? And I was like, no, that's way too easy.
That's what I said too.
And then I started thinking of something else, and then she said it, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I suck at riddles too, so like the fact that I
We
was
all
even
know.
correct, I was like, yeah, for D&D.
Yeah, we're aware.
I was like,
we play too much D&D.
She got so stressed that session too when he had riddles. She's like, I am not good at riddles. Guys, I am not good.
so relatable. But yeah, I thought, I was like, the first line, and like they say it over and over throughout the book, right? I read it, I was like, it'd be too cheesy if it was love. And like the second time, I was like, it's love. And the third and fourth time was just kind of like beating a dead horse. And then finally at the end, I was like, yes. But yeah, definitely a little easy. But maybe it's just because of D&D putting us through the rigor.
I also thought too, because people
figure it out. It's too easy.
People said that this was a Beauty and the Beast kind of retelling. Like that's how when I started this book, it was marketed that way. So when I read that and then I read the riddle, I was like, oh well. That was kind of the whole point in Beauty and the Beast. Like, he had to change. He would change if he found love, true love. So then when I thought about the riddle, I was like, oh, Beauty and the Beast, love. It has to be love.
I guess Nick doesn't believe in true love because he didn't know.
No man does.
I asked him, he's like, I don't know what it is. He's usually good at riddles.
He just didn't want to admit that he was reading a smut book.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I don't know what this is. Don't show me this again.
He reads it when you're off to work.
Yeah.
He's been eating them up.
Yeah. You leave and he's like, oh my god, okay, the riddle was... I just flipped to the part where she...
Oh, I called it when it was like, the part where Amarantha was like talking about the bet that people had made and only one person bet that it was who she was. I was like, Lucian? I was like, no. Tamlin? No. I was like, it's probably Reese. And so I was like, right, and they showed up. I was like, fuck yeah.
The one bet. What do you think about the cereal? Cereal. Like, what did you think about that whole section?
I was scared for her. I was like, what are you doing talking to this crazy ass lady, not knowing like what's out there, or like not having it. I get worried because she doesn't have like true power. Like I feel like she's very weak, but not weak. I don't think she's a weak character.
She can only shoot a bow at
but
that
as
point.
A human, I'm like,
yeah,
all right. I don't know what she's doing with these fey creatures and how strong they are. So I think I was just scared for her. But in terms of like what she said, I was just like, okay, I guess you have to stay with him. I guess we can trust him because that's what this lady is saying.
So you see it as a lady?
I see it as a lady.
That's funny.
I see it as like, what are they called? Like in Greek mythology.
Like a siren?
Like a siren.
Isn't
Because
siren a mermaid?
Didn't it have like a veil?
Yeah, like a cape.
Like over its face.
Yeah.
So I saw it as a female.
That's interesting.
I was imagining them as like
said
Dementors.
That's how I pictured it first too.
Just wispy
Yep.
little creatures floating around.
Which apparently doesn't even look like any of what we're saying. But I just think it's interesting that we all have different takes on what they look like. Or what it looks like. I'm trying to like. This is so difficult.
There's just so much in the book, and it's like, what do we like?
Yeah, and it's like
so
we
much
can't
information.
touch on anything else. So I'm like, I'm trying to.
I know.
You guys are trying to divide like what you guys already read and not spoil it. That was me with like Fourth Wing. I was just like, wait a minute, did this happen already? Or
Like I'm flipping through right now. Oh, so okay, this was a hot take for everybody, and I think I was on the same side as everyone, and this is also before I started reading the books that we're reading now, so it's like I had that that Edward Cullen mindset where I'm like, he could do no wrong, he's just sweet, he would never hurt any, like that kind of thing. So when she is in the under the mountain, when she's under the mountain and Rhys Sand is in the dungeon with her, and he breaks her or unbreaks her arm or grabs her broken arm, and it's just kind of like really like rough with her, and then we find out he's like getting her drugged up every night. How did you feel about that? This divided a lot of people, so I need to know.
I was a little rapey. Like I was like, he's just kind of like roofing her up every night. Like that's how I felt about it. But like he even says, like, I didn't do anything else besides touch your arm or your waist. Every single time.
True. And
didn't go any further than that. Like the only time he ever did anything was he kissed her, and that was just because, you know, Amarantha was coming and to cover that up. And the fact that she, like, you know, Tamlin had smeared all the paint that was already on her. So
I forgot about that.
So I felt like it was unsettling that I was watching. Like I wasn't sure of him at this point. So I wasn't sure of him until later on, probably like after the kiss, and then after he like sat down in the room with her, like trying to run away and was explaining everything. He's like, listen, I'm on your side because I cannot stand this bitch.
Yeah.
And like, not only that, it's like he is also tied to Amarantha, and like he is also being used. Like he's also technically somewhat being like sexually assaulted.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure.
you think about it, yeah.
Yeah, no, not even somewhat. For sure he is, yeah. Without a doubt.
He's like her whore, and like he has to go to her. Like he can't say no to her. And he has to play a part until he can finally get released, and that's why it was so important for him to try to escape that. And escape that abuse. So and that's why I appreciated him too, even in the end when he actually tried to fight for Feyre.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt like it was good to see someone other than Tamlin, like, trying to be on her side kind of thing. Like, not that there was anything wrong with Tamlin, like, you know, sticking up for her and trying to save her, but having another person in her corner, I should say. Because she had Lucian, she had Tamlin, and then to have someone else in her corner was good to see, I think.
Yeah, so although he was doing some of that stuff, I don't think he did it with bad intention. I think I don't know if it's even to keep like an eye on her or maybe help her escape from being down in that dungeon, just going mad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I didn't like the way he did it, but like it was under like I guess like the best intentions under like a shitty situation.
Yeah.
Chaotic good, you know. We question his methods.
Yeah.
but it's all good. It's for good. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. No, I agree. That definitely, I think, divided the ACOTAR community for a long time. Because I still get TikToks now that are, like, bashing him for that. And I'm like, So I'm, like, on a weird, like, middle ground. Kind of like you said, like, chaotic neutral, chaotic good or something. I just... A necessary evil.
Yeah, I still understand, like, why she had to be in, like, the sheerest clothing, though, and, like, have her... Well, I understand the body paint thing, but still. Maybe, is the sheerness to show if...
I don't even think they touched on that.
I think it was, like, a mental thing. I
don't think they even, like, gave a reason for that.
Right, you're right, because, like, she's like, I'm in pretty much scraps right now.
Yeah.
I kind of just think it was maybe... I know Reese was putting her in it, but like maybe it was just Aramantha saying like she embarrassed everybody, right? She like stripped their power and then like stripped them of like their humility.
Yeah.
So in my brain, that's what was going on. Like, of and humans are much more modest. So like she's already a human in the Fey land. You know, she's fighting for her true love, and like the trials are every couple days, every couple weeks. Like I kind of felt like it was like trying to break her down. Like, you know, you're nothing. We're stripping you bare.
Yeah, just another
and you have to
humiliation
deal with it.
tactic.
Exactly. That's what
Yeah.
I thought. But you're right. I don't think like she explicitly stated like they're making me wear this.
Yeah,
because
they
of
didn't. Yeah. I'm like trying to think. I really don't think that they.
Which was just
Sure,
one
I
more
think.
thing. I was like, I thought it was for humiliation because like
Yeah, I
know,
wonder if it was
she's
just a
used to-
read between the
This
lines.
is what I
Yeah.
thought that she was in. I sent you a picture. Do you remember if you watched Game of Thrones, if you watched Daenerys in that first scene?
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
shows
Yeah.
up and it's like super clear and you can see through it. That's what I
Yes.
pictured her in.
Yeah.
But like
Yes.
with paint on her body.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's exactly how I
exactly.
pictured it too. I do remember that.
But yeah, I don't know if it was sheer like that because he wanted to be able to see, like, because he painted her whole body, like stomach and everything, to be like, if anybody touches her.
Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
But
I
I
would
think
say it
that-
was sheer for sure.
I don't know if that was just because he's like, you know, this dirty, filthy fae, or if because he genuinely needed to know if somebody touched her or not.
He's a pervert. He's a dirty
Yeah.
pervert.
I have no clue.
All the Fae
Well,
are
are you
dirty.
telling me that? Is that hint for like future book? Is it?
Don't answer that.
They're all dirty. That's my answer. All the Fae men are fucking dirty. Dirty old men.
Literally old.
They like, yeah, capitalizing on the old. Dirty 500-year-old men. I feel like I'm trying to think of when I read it, what I would have annotated, and I kind of just flipped. I think I just flipped to the oh my god, I always fuck up this word. I don't know why. Kalanmai?
Oh, they're like festival fire thingy, whatever they call it.
Yeah, did you like when I read this and like
Did I put a tabby on it? Yeah.
I felt a certain type of way when I read this, like, and because he goes through with it, right? Tamlin?
No.
Is this the one? Wait, am I confusing
he
this?
Does, no. For the ritual, for the fire ritual, he does go through it. Like,
Okay.
he has to because that's how, like, they have
Yes.
spring in the real
Yeah,
world.
yeah,
so
yeah.
he did, but he, like, comes back because, you know, she's like, fuck this. I'm leaving this room. I'm not going to be, like, stuck in here. And then she goes downstairs into, like, her paint room, and then Tamlin shows up, and he's like, I
Yes.
smelt you.
That's
like,
where he
you were
bites
in
her,
there.
right?
I looked her. Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
he bites her. And I was like, I wrote moans in Spanish. Next to it.
Perfect. I would love to see your tabs. Moans in Spanish. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, but he does go through with it with the other girl. But then that's why I loved when she said, because I also highlighted, she asked me not to be gentle with her either. I put my kind of gal, wink face. But then,
Damn, I forgot that happened.
yeah, and he says that he's like, I would have you moaning my name throughout it all, and
Yeah.
I would have taken a very, very long time, Feyre. And I was like, God damn.
Mm-hmm.
But then she was like, why should I want someone else's leftovers? I was like, damn right, Feyre, you fucking
Yeah,
tell him. I
she
wouldn't
is the
fucking
queen.
either.
She is
I
the
wouldn't
fucking
fucking
queen.
either. I would have been like, you better go shower. We better wait a couple of days. I don't know. We're not doing it. Not tonight.
Hell yeah.
And then I loved in like the next chapter, I put a yellow tab on. My yellow tab's like the funny moments. Was that she didn't hide her little bruise that she had there. She was like rubbing it in his face.
Yeah.
So she went downstairs and like you can see Lucian's like response. He goes, "You look refreshed," and he goes, "Sleep well," and she's like a babe. What is that bruise? Ask him. He did it straight up. Call him out.
She's like, this is a trophy.
He goes, "Why does Feyre have a bruise on her neck from you?" And he goes, "I bit her." Straight up. That's it. I bit her.
I just love the just saying what it is. Like there's like in this book she does not beat around the bush. And I love that for her. Kalanmai is also where
she meets Reese for the first
yes,
time.
okay,
there.
okay.
Yes.
I keep thinking that there's 2 festivals for some reason in my head. I don't know why, but
And I know too because of TikTok. I always hear the thing. It's like, "Hello, Feyre, darling,"
Oh,
like
yeah.
or whatever on the things. So when I was reading this, I was like, I have a feeling that this is this guy because I didn't know at this point yet.
I don't
He
think
goes,
they tell
"There
his
you
name
are.
yet.
I've been looking for you." I highlighted that because I was like, wait a minute, who is this?"
I don't think you know his name at that point because I thought the same thing. Like, I was like, who the fuck is approaching her right now? Like, everyone is at the festival because she's like on the outskirts, and then I think you connects it for you a little bit later.
Yeah. Later on,
right. Yeah, I'm flipping through it now. I'm trying to see.
later on, I think when he shows up, in Tamlin's like estate, like they're having breakfast and everything, and then Lucian like tries to like glamour
Yeah, to shield
over and
her.
protect her.
Yes.
And then he shows up and she's like, "Oh fuck, it's that like most beautiful man that I've ever seen in my entire life."
That's what it is. Yeah.
She
Which is
was
kinda rude.
She was
"Yo,
like,
you're with Tamlin,
right?
girl.
She's
Stop,
like, I don't
chill."
even care what his name is. That man is
Yeah, she's
beautiful.
like Tamlin has a mask on his face. I can't 100% confidently say that he's the most beautiful man.
He could be ugly. I don't know.
This guy doesn't have a mask.
Put my eggs in one basket here. They kinda,
Oh my god!
options.
Imagine at the end, the mask comes off, and she's like, "Oh, you know what?
Just like,
I don't
damn it,
know.
I picked the wrong one.
Yeah, I don't know about this." Oh my god! I think I was thinking that when I read it. I'm like, oh my god, what if they're all ugly when they take the mask off and they all have like tans on their face?
Yo, that would be, oh my goodness. Like the
Right?
bottom half of their face is all aged from like
Tan
sun
lines.
damage.
Yes, yes. 49 years of tanning outside with a mask on.
That's so funny.
Oh my god.
But yeah, after that, then it's like then her and Tamlin falling in love, and I just love these little scenes. Like she finally dresses up for him. They go look at the frickin' I don't know. They heard some little willow trees
Oh yeah, the
singing.
Yep.
He like kissed her eyelids. I thought he was actually gonna kiss her because she was like sure, and then he only kissed her eyelids, and that was it. I was like, God damn it.
Pussy. Just do it. Just kiss her. Well, and then they went to the Starlight Pool, too. Right?
Yeah.
Or
I was
they
like, I
called
can't
the
remember if
Glen.
that's the first book or not.
No, yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's called the
because
When they
Glen.
finally kissed, I
Glen,
think she
yeah.
said that was like the happiest moment of her life or something like that.
Also, like, aren't you guys so jealous at the like beauty of the Fey realm?
yeah,
Imagine just being able to like swim through stars in
right?
your backyard.
That's
Sounds dope.
cool. Like,
And willow trees? Ugh, I love
Willow
willow
trees.
trees. They're my favorite tree.
I can just imagine her, like, she's in the human world, and then she goes to this beautiful Fey world that seems like they just boost up the saturation, in my opinion. And, and, like, loves it. And then when she has to go back to her human world, she's like, oh, everything's gray. Like, and dirty, and everybody smells, and, yeah, no, I'd turn right back around. I'd be like, nope, that's not for me. And the food, too, because she was
I
always
guess
like,
I'm
oh,
kinda-
food's so good.
I guess the next question, I guess, for me is like, what's gonna happen? Like, Amarantha was the biggest threat in the beginning of the book. Now we still have this king of Highburn or whatever who like wants to succeed with the plan of taking over the mortal realm. So I think he's probably gonna have more to do with it, if I had to make a guess. And that now that they have their magic, they might be able to fight against him. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure where it's gonna go next. Because now it just like it almost felt like this itself could be just one book.
Yeah.
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 You know what I mean?
She
Like,
ended
you
it
could
on
just
that
end it.
note. Yeah.
Happily ever after. Great.
You could,
Okay.
Bree. You really could.
But
And
you
then-
shouldn't.
you shouldn't, but you'd also be saving yourself a lot of crying later on.
Aw.
Crying and stress and
Yeah. Sweating,
sleepless nights.
throwing
But
up.
I was stressed. I was stressed these last 100 pages. Real, I was going through it.
Were you stressed under the mountain? Under the mountain.
Under the mountain, yeah. That
Yeah.
whole part with her trials, and I'm telling you, I was really feeling when she had the 3 Fae come up. I was like, fuck. It's like it's gonna be the nephews.
Oh yeah,
But then
yeah.
she was like, then she lifted it and was like, "Oh, I don't know this guy." And I was like, "Okay, well that makes sense that you don't know the guy, right? Because she's never seen the nephews." But then the female one was lifted up, and then she's like, "I don't know who this girl is either." And I was like, "Oh, thank fucking God."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Oh, I was so stressed."
Yep.
I like how they definitely wiggled in the whole thing about his heart being stone, because I didn't pick up on that.
Me
Did you
neither.
guys pick up on that earlier, or no?
I don't think I did. I don't think I picked up on it in that regard.
I thought they were saying like figuratively, because I mean now we know that Feyre had to say that she loved him 1st. I thought when they said Heart of Stone, like kind of like Beauty and the Beast, like very like rough exterior, like took a lot to kind of get to know him. I thought that's what they meant, like because like you mentioned, Brie, like we wanted him to kiss her so bad and he wouldn't. I just thought like he was just like not the lovey-dovey type, and that's what I thought they meant by Heart of Stone. And then she goes and stabs him, and I was like, oh. Literal stone.
Literal stone. Imagine the weight that feels like in your chest. Jesus, that's all I thought. I was like, God. Is it heavy? Like,
I never thought about that.
Oh my God.
You know what else I was thinking about? I was kind of mad at Feyre because Alice like told her, "Don't do X, Y, and Z." What the fuck is she doing? She's out
she don't
here
listen.
Brie, there's so many memes.
Chugging.
She really doesn't fucking listen. Like,
very wide.
She's a goddamn toddler. Like, she
Literally.
don't listen.
Don't make any deals with anybody who walks in there.
Makes a deal immediately when she walks in the door.
Don't trust anybody.
She's like Frodo with the goddamn ring. It's like, don't put on the ring, Frodo. And
he's like, oh, okay, let me put on the ring. Yep, no, that's our girl. She can't read. She don't listen.
That's why she got bit.
She don't fucking listen. So I just flipped to the part where she went back to the human world, and she's talking to everybody who's been glamored, and Nesta's the only one that's not glamored. Do you have any theories on that? Or why think why?
I don't have any theories as to why. I can't think of anything that like would have happened that would have, I don't know, otherwise made her able to not be glamored. Besides, like, Feyre talking about how strong-headed her sister is. It's definitely not that iron bracelet.
Yeah, no.
Wasn't that crazy?
They had this, well, it's like the whole vampire thing. They say that garlic kills a vampire or whatever, keeps the vampires away, but is that necessarily true? Like, you wouldn't know unless you had proof, and so to be wearing iron and it does fucking nothing. Like, that's crazy.
And then they can't lie, so she's taking everything everyone is saying.
Literally.
Yes, exactly.
She's like Drax she's like, from Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, she can't take anything as a joke.
She's like, you can't lie.
They're like, well, I mean, we can, but...
Maybe I can.
Keep thinking what you want to think.
Maybe a white lie.
Yeah. Your iron also does nothing. All right.
All this going on is just like a mind fuck. Like, she's been taught this all her life. Like, iron will keep you safe.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, so I don't know if I necessarily have theories about it. I think, I don't know. We probably have to know more about, like, her journey. Because what did she truly see? I don't think it really, like, went into depth about how much she had seen.
For the glamour? I think they said
that...
Nesta, like, went to look for
Feyre.
Oh,
you're right.
She went, like, I forgot necessarily what it said.
You're right. She did, like, adventure and, like, try to...
She went for, like, 2 days, then it didn't happen. Then she went back out again to try and find her, and then went to the wall.
Pretty sure...
I'm
pretty sure it was that she, I'm trying to think of a video game reference. I have it in my head. You ever play a video game where you go too far, your character goes to an area they're not supposed to be, and they go into like a white like a blackout or whiteout screen, like fog, and then it kind of turns your character around to where you're supposed to be. I think that's what she basically did. Like, she was gone for 2 days going to the wall between the human world and the Fey world, and kind of just, like, was subtly redirected by probably magic. And then, like, she's probably like, what the fuck happened? And then try to do it again, because she can't get through.
I'm just curious as to say, how would she know that her sister was past that? Well, I guess because, yeah.
I think she's just super smart.
Yeah.
She's pretty
super
smart.
strong-willed. And
Yeah, I think my theory was, when I was reading it, why the glamour didn't work on her, like, to Bree's point, she's just really stubborn. Like, really smart, really strong-willed.
Takes in her surroundings. Like, she's always
Exactly.
analyzing, looking for the exit. Yeah.
I feel like older siblings are. They're just, like, so mean. Just, like...
You would be right. We
They
are
don't take
very
bullshit
mean.
from anyone.
Oh my gosh, we have an eldest, a middle, and the baby here. We got the full spread.
Yeah.
Fucking Elaine out here in the flowers.
Oh my gosh, she is a goddamn flower. She just...
Elaine is
enjoying
sunshine
life.
and rainbows.
Oh my
exactly.
god, she's like a dandelion. She's just la-da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, she doesn't care about anything.
You didn't even need to glamour her. She'd be fine.
She probably didn't even notice.
Yeah. You just tell her, like, oh yeah, no, nothing happened. She'd be like, okay.
Farrah went on a walk. Okay.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna go to the flower garden. Poor Elaine. I can't. Poor fucking Elaine. I'm trying to
Now
think
I wonder
of-
what's gonna happen with that, because now she's actually a fae.
Oh, Farrah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, is she allowed to even go visit her family and stuff like that anymore? I mean, she has powers and stuff to do so, but...
I think that's the one rule that they have is you can't, because that was the whole point of the wall. Like, they can't interact with each other. Which is why they couldn't, like, the whole, the wolf thing, killing the wolf, like, that's why he went, I always call him Marcus. I know that's not his fucking name. I think it's, like, Andreas or something.
Yeah.
I think it's Andreas.
I'm in my head, I'm like, yeah,
Marcus, that was
Marcus.
very close.
Yeah, who the fuck is Marcus? But that's why he was in wolf form, because they can't go over there. I think that was, like, their treaty.
I'm surprised, like, when she killed him, though, like, did his body just morph back into a fae, or...
No, she skinned him, right?
She
skinned him.
She took him home.
She sold the
so-
pelt, I think, right? Right?
So-
I don't know. Yeah, because she went to the market.
She went to the market and everything. So I was just
Yeah,
wondering,
yeah.
like, oh, like, when you kill a fae, do they automatically ship back? But I guess not. And then, like, when they found his body, like, the fae, were they like, oh shit, like, he was just had no skin.
Oh.
That's creepy, right?
Right?
Crazy.
Because
Like,
didn't
I
he
don't
bring him in the house and, like, skinned him on the fucking
On the table.
table? The
yeah.
eating table? Like, she did not disinfect that at all. She just plopped him up there.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Wait, no, she didn't eat him, though.
No, I just mean that
She wanted the deer,
Yeah.
but had to take down the wolf.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, she sold the pelt because she was like, oh shit, this is gonna get us a lot of money.
Nessa's like, I want shoes.
Oh my goodness. I think I was texting Megan. I was
Yeah.
like, I fucking hate Nesta.
Like, girl, you don't go
I was
anywhere.
literally complaining that, like, when she's like just sitting perfectly still hunting this deer, like, wasn't she saying, like, you know, her jacket's threadbare, her shoes, she can feel the snow,
Yeah.
all that. You know, she comes home dripping fucking wet after battling a wolf that
She's
I don't
pretty
even
much
know
homeless.
how many pounds it is.
Yeah.
You know, pretty much homeless. You know, she was even saying she was like, you know, starting to black out because she's dying of starvation.
So hungry, yeah.
So hungry. And then Nesta's like, I want shoes.
I need shoes.
I want.
Fucking bitches.
Yep.
And Elaine wasn't much better either. Like,
No.
yep. Then they had to sleep in the same bed because they had like no heat and yep. I need shoes.
At least Tamlin took care of her family. He was so sweet. I don't know. I'm not ready to get heartbroken. I can't take it.
I can't do it. I mean, you said you could end it right here.
I
really could.
happily ever after.
Yeah, you really could.
I will not let you live it down, though. So do with that
I'm gonna-
information
I'm
what you
gonna
will.
phrase it.
Yeah, no, we would be really unhappy with that choice, but you can still do the choice.
You can do it. If I support you or not, that's the question.
It's not the right thing to do, but you can do it.
I'm kidding. It is a lot. It's a lot of books, but I mean, I think the story unfolds amazingly.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. That's why I was like, just wait, because it really just doesn't hesitate. Like, I think I remember the first, like, paragraph in the first chapter. It doesn't give you any, like, previously on Dragon
No
Ball
recap.
Z. Yeah, no, it's just like, they go right into it. So that's why I was like, oh, just wait a minute, don't get your heart broken really fast. Just hold on.
And you have questions, they will be answered.
Oh, yeah, the second book definitely answers a lot of questions. That's why I liked this first one. Like, it's not my favorite, but I did like this one just because it wasn't I don't even know what the term would be. It wasn't so much world building, but I was like okay with that. If that makes sense. Like, in the book, like, you can see, I know my special edition has the map. I'm pretty sure you guys have it too. But, like, you see all these other places and stuff, and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, so you see these other world-building areas that you don't even know of, but I was okay in this book with not having that. Because it was, like, just simple.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's such a weird answer, but I just like the simpleness of this book. And don't get me wrong, I love the crack theories, I love the intertwining cross whatever kind of stuff in books, but this one was nice for me because it was just like like really simple, and they love each other, and she saved him, and then the end, like, just very very chill.
It could stand alone by itself.
Yeah. Did you did you picture the worm, the Minigard worm?
Oh, I literally wrote Alaskan bullworm.
Yeah.
In my book.
I was just gonna say, did you picture it as the Alaskan bullworm? Oh my
I
god.
said out loud to Nick. I'm sitting there like on the couch. I'm like, Alaskan bullworm.
Alaskan bullworm!
It's big, big.
Big and pink and mean. Yes, that's exactly how I pictured it though at first, and then I think I saw a TikTok right after this book because I was like, oh, I feel like I'm being such an ass. Like, that's definitely not how it's supposed to be viewed. And then I looked it up and I was like, okay, that makes it cooler. Like, that makes it fucking more badass that she killed that thing as a human on her own. So I'm like, all right. She gets more props now.
Taking down the Alaskan bullworm ain't no small feat.
No, SpongeBob couldn't even do it.
I'm looking it up right now. I think it was a mix between, like, the Alaskan bullworm and, like, the Exogorth, the worm from Star Wars.
You're
But,
funny.
like, in, like, little tunnels.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking of tunnels. I thought of like a straight up like maze.
That's
Yeah.
kind of
Like-
how I pictured it too, a little bit. A mixture of both. I'm looking.
And I
though.
thought of actually thought of like the Dungeons and Dragons movie, like Honor Among Thieves, because they put them in like a little maze with like a
Oh
displacement piece.
yeah.
Like that's literally like what popped in my head, but just with a worm. And
Oh,
then
yeah,
there was
that's
a
a
pit
good-
with bones, you know,
Yeah.
and it was just muddy.
Yeah, and that makes sense because everyone's looking, like, above, downward.
Yeah, they
you
can
know.
see what's happening rather than
Yeah.
like, you know, if it was tunnels, then they wouldn't be able to see above.
I think it's cool though that it's an actual mythological creature, which I didn't know until after this book.
What is the true name of it? Like,
I think it's just called a I think it's just called like a worm,
I'll put Akatar worm. It pops up.
I was not even aware.
Oh,
I saw something that was like, oh, it's based off of a I think it's like Norse
Oh.
mythology.
Midigrad.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's based off of Jormungandr, which if you
Oh.
played God of War. But I mean, it's not that far off. But
yeah, definitely the rows of teeth. I could see that.
Yeah.
In, Jormungandr.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, I liked that because when I figured that out kind of afterwards, I liked that she kind of called forth like real life mythology. I like when artists. I like when authors do that, when they kind of like throw in like Pegasus and dragons and stuff like that, and they like Wyvern and they kind of name it their own thing, and but to have that little inspiration is really cool.
Yeah.
But seeing what it actually looks like is fucking horrifying.
I love these freaking pictures that I'm looking at right now with the Alaskan bullworm.
Yep. Feyre just standing in the middle. Yep.
Feyre Sandy.
Yeah, Lucian is behind the rock. Love that for him.
God.
I mean, the Alaskan bullworm is still scary.
Oh, absolutely.
SpongeBob didn't have to cover himself in shit, but you know, here we are.
So apparently the worm from Feyre's first trial looks like a picture on the left, and here I was picturing it as the giant worm from SpongeBob.
Yep.
Same.
Exactly. I know, I felt like such an idiot afterwards. I'm like, but I really did think, huh? Like,
I never thought to look up the picture, and now I'm looking at it. I'm like, wow, it could have been so much more, scary and like fearsome in my mind when I'm literally thinking of like a 1980s CGI worm mixed with Alaskan worm.
It's just crazy that like we read these books and we have like this expectation in our heads, and we immediately went to SpongeBob because we're all fucking psychos. But
I was like, it really shows my age. I was like, aw.
Yeah, I feel like people younger than us did not see that. It's
I have a little sticker here. It says bookmark. It says bookworm, and it's the Alaskan bullworm with the Avatar book in it.
Hell yeah.
That is amazing.
That's
great.
Beautiful execution. All right, that's where I'm actually, I think, at right now. I just swiped on that page. Just now she's in the cell. Yeah, this is... Oh yeah, this is, I think, where she drinks the first time. I'm trying to see, like, what, like I said, this book was very simple, that it didn't have, like, things to really theorize.
And turns until, like, the very end. Because, like, literally, the beginning of the book is just her relationship with her family, and then how she ends up with Tamlin, and then the middle of the book is her and Tamlin together in the relationship, and then the second half of the book is her getting Tamlin.
Yep.
Or the third part of the book. I had to put it into thirds. Last third.
Let me see. I think... So, when the... I don't remember between what... I think it's between the second and third trial. Nick is, like, moaning in the other room.
I see him playing Tekken, so he's probably...
Oh my god,
not doing
Jesus
well.
Christ. Where she goes, Tamlin steals her away to go into, like, the hallway. He's, like, making out with her.
Uh-huh.
What were your thoughts on that, Brie? Did you have any...
I loved every second of it. I was like... I have, like, tabbies on. I didn't write anything down, but I put tabs on. I was like... I was so happy that they were finally able to be joined. Because, like, think about it. It's been, like, 3 months. They haven't been able to touch each other at all. He touches graces her hand and then follows her. Or she follows him. And then they're finally able to be together. And then, like, get stopped by Rhys. Like, great. But Rhys had valid reasons, okay? And once I got to this part of the book, because what chapter is this? Like, frickin'...
Oh, it's, like, at the end. I'm at it right now,
Yeah, it's chapter 42, so there's 46 chapters. Like, I'm near the end, and this is all I'm getting, and I'm getting really scared at this point. Because he doesn't say anything, he just says... I just highlighted, he softly said, "I love you," and then walks away. I was like, oh, I'm gonna fucking cry. I don't know what's going on. I'm really worried.
Yeah, Reese was a OG for that one, because you know that, because Amarantha didn't find them, right? It was just Reese.
It was just so Reese broke them up.
Mm-hmm.
Then Tamlin left and
Yeah.
got rid of the paint and everything. And then Amarantha came back in, like he sensed she was coming.
Yeah.
Reese, he stopped and then just kissed her. And then she was kind of mad about it, but he was like, "Listen, like I had to do that."
Yeah, just the
Because
really...
what would have happened if Tamlin,
Yeah.
and you were caught? Like, think about what would have happened.
Oh, yeah. Real OG for that one. Even though he kind of, like, shamed her for it. And you're like, all right, well, you
He's
know
like
what?
shameful, like
Yeah. And then she calls him a pig, too. Oh, yeah, because he's like, basically, like, if he just wanted to have sex, he could have just called me. And she's like, you pig. I was like, hee hee. Such a great insult. Pig. Yeah, I'm towards, like, the end here. Let's see.
Like, I think with Reese, like, he still had his, like, own motives. I don't think he really cared much for, Feyre. I think he was really doing it for his own interests.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, he saw her as the only way out.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm gonna make this work.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He saw his opportunity, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna use her for my opportunity to get the fuck out of here.
Let's get two
Yeah.
birds, one
He's like, I need my
Yeah.
powers back.
Mm-hmm.
This
Speaking
human
of-
theme is promising. If I help her.
I
Mm-hmm.
could use this to my advantage.
Exactly.
Speaking of the end and Aramantha, how did you feel about the scene where she finally cracks the riddle and Aramantha starts to
Kill her?
break her?
Bro, I felt like I was in the book. Like, I was in such pain.
Panicked.
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd you feel, Brie?
I was panicked, but I was like, there's no way they could just kill her right now. You know? I was like, they can't just kill her.
I mean, they could have.
But I did like from that you could see her from like Reese's eyes because of
Yeah.
like their bond or their deal that they had made.
Yeah.
So
from a
that
different
was really
perspective.
interesting, seeing it from his perspective and what was happening, and then her coming back as like a fae at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I thought that was really interesting. But I was worried. I was like, ooh. I was like, but they can't kill her, can they?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm on the page right now, and I like vividly remember the scene, like same like what Megan was saying, like every line, like something she's like, you know, I felt something crack. In
Yeah,
my
right
neck,
here.
and-
My back arched, my ribs cracked.
Yep.
Mhm.
And like I remember looking, and I was like, "There's only 12 pages left."
Yes, I know. I know.
End it like this.
Yes. I like. I'm trying to word this correctly. Do you think so? Because I'm reading right here. Obviously, Amarantha was pissed because she got, you know. But she's like, admit you don't really love him, and I'll spare you. Do you think that like she really loved Tamlin, and that's why she was so pissed off at Feyre?
I don't think I have enough like backstory or context to like make that or come to that conclusion. You know, they didn't talk to us about like if they grew up together or like what kind of relationship they had outside of.
And I don't think
Like,
they ever
her
give you any
wanting
more
him.
than that.
No,
Yeah.
they just say, "Oh, this was that she was just promised or she made this
Betrothed
curse
or-
and said if he doesn't do XYZ by this time, then he is hers." And that was it.
Mhm.
So I don't know what the nature of their relationship was beforehand, like when she came over, or if Tamlin just always hated her for what she was. So it's weird that why would she want Tamlin out of anybody? Like Reese sounds pretty strong if you ask me. It's got a pretty unique power.
If you think about it, though, Amarantha doesn't want someone strong. She wants someone
She
that...
wants to be the strongest.
Yeah, she wants to be the dominating one.
Valid point. She wants to be able to control.
Yeah, she doesn't... She... Everybody's probably stronger than her, to be quite honest with you. But, like, she wants to be in the dominating seat. So I would never see that working out for her. Ever. For Rhysand. I'm, like, trying not to read where she dies, because it just, like, kills me inside.
Oh, bro,
Like, it
I
just
was
hurts.
freaking out.
Oh my god.
And also, just like, what a bitch move. Like, you got bested. And I think also, like, what we're saying, she's winning Tamlin,
Yeah.
and she's a human, and she was just, like, so petty.
I was so mad.
I was so mad.
I was,
So mad. I was like, you couldn't just, like, hold up your deal? Like...
I'm like, this fucking
Yeah.
bitch.
I was like, this whole time, Feyre's literally dying. She's being drugged, before Rhys came to, like, help her arm, she's literally sitting there. She's like, I'm gonna die. You know? No medical help. She's freezing to death on, like, 2 pieces of straw in a prison cell, holding up her end of the deal as a human that technically doesn't have to. And here you are, like, a Fae, commanding everybody. And what a pissy ass mood you're in to, like, not hold up your end of the bargain.
Yeah.
Fucking Airman, though.
I think I stopped annotating because I was so worried.
Yep.
You get so into it, and you're like, oh, fuck. Like, I think the last thing I wrote was in here was, like, before she did her last trial or something like that. And Feyre was just talking. She was like, what are your, like, final words? And she looked at Tamlin. She's like, I love you, like, no matter what she says about it, no matter, it's only with my insignificant human heart, even when they burn my body, I'll love you. And I said, good shit, Feyre. Stay strong, girl.
Speak your truth.
And then I didn't write anything else until the end when the answer was love. I was like, let's fucking go. That's what I thought it was.
That was probably the start of the last 100 pages, and then after that, everything goes out the fucking window because it's just Stress City.
Oh yeah,
Stress
Then
City.
it's, like, the last 16 pages were just a little rough.
So then the last couple pages then, how do you feel about Rhysand's deal that they made, him and Feyre?
I don't know. See, I feel like they're gonna be an item, but I feel like if they're an item, it's gonna hurt me because they're gonna be like, something has to happen with Tamlin. Otherwise, she's a whore. Like, how you just sleeping around? How you just going from Fae to Fae?
How you just
Fae to Fae?
Because she's gonna live forever now. She's got to do something about it.
You just went through all these trials, killed 2 innocent people just so you could be with Tamlin, and then you're gonna go be with, like, Rhysand? Like, what? Hold up.
That's a good point.
Tamlin.
That's a good point.
Right? Why go through all this shit if you don't even want him? Like, so I will be very upset, but, Tamlin would probably have to do something, like, betray me in some way, which I'm not ready for, in order for her to be like, alright, I'm gonna go be with Rhys. That's how I feel about it, but I don't know.
I never
No.
read it like that.
I'm very stressed about it.
Yeah, I never really thought that when I read that. That's a good point.
Like, she can be with somebody else, but
no, she can't.
But you went through all of this, and then, unless it's, like, an open relationship, then, like, whatever, but as long as
One
there's
could
an
only hope
spoken
in that
agreement.
Sarah J. Maas.
If we could only be so
Series.
lucky.
Yeah. Why
God
hasn't she
damn it.
given that us?
I'm scared,
Come on.
guys.
She has not done that for us in any book. Come on, Sarah. Give us a whole open relationship here. Yeah, I mean, I don't see... What the hell?
Like, I don't know what he would
Jesus.
want with her.
Sorry, Siri was talking to me. It scared the shit out of me.
That
Oh
was
my-
Beaver.
No, I thought it
I
was
thought it was
too.
Beer.
Oh my god. Sorry. Keep going. God.
Like, I don't know what he would want with her.
Rhysand?
Yeah. Unless he's just also interested in her. And he's like, this human seems pretty chill. Like, she just took down this whole big-ass worm.
Worm covered in poop.
She's pretty smart, even though she can't read.
Bitch can't read!
But, she makes up for it in other ways.
So now that she's high
yeah,
fae, though, what do you think? Like,
Valid.
what are your thoughts of how Feyre is going to be now that she's high fae?
Damn, are you implying that, like, her personality changes now because she's a high fae?
No, I don't think she does.
She's still probably witty and, like...
Oh yeah, no. And that I just mean like your thoughts on like I don't even know how to word this. Like, any thoughts that you have of what she's gonna go through as High Fae?
I have no clue. I didn't think about this very long. I literally finished the book like an hour ago.
Yeah,
so.
that's fair. I haven't had a chance to sleep on all the info.
Yeah. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and be like, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I should have said this. I don't know if I had to think about it. I don't. Wait, let me look at like the part in the book where like they actually bring her alive, and Reese says something. He's like something that. He's like what our ancestors did.
I'll let you get to it, Brie.
Hold on.
Before Becca and I step in.
I did have a thought when I was reading it that I will share. Once we find where Reese says.
Yeah, put my book away. It's on you guys.
Okay, well, it's not there because that's... She dies. Okay, where is it? Where is it? It's not on these pages. Will bestow what our predecessors have granted few before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering what few that was. Like, is it...
I mean, if this helps you out, you don't have to think about that part because they don't ever tell you.
Oh, they don't?
Yeah, no. It's not a spoiler. They really just don't. It's not about the who. It's about what that means.
That's what I'm trying. Like, what is so special that only a few of those people have been given that opportunity?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think about the
what
who.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Like, what is so special about those few?
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that is against the law nowadays? I don't know.
Well, that's a good thought.
Because humans and mortals don't mix, and now all of a sudden, I'm making this human a fae. A high fae at that.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Will that be breaking some sort of rule? I don't know.
I didn't really think about that before, but yeah, it's a good point.
That's what I think. I don't know. I don't know what else to think about the little blessing, but now that she's a fae.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought, yay, she's a fae, she's alive, and now they're gonna live happily ever after.
They sure are. That's how the book ends. The end.
That's how the book ends. We're gonna leave it there.
Technically, you're not wrong.
Yeah, there's no heartbreak. The end. You won't cry ever again.
Oh yeah, you'll be completely psychologically intact.
You won't need your blue tabs for this series.
I will say that when I was
No, go. I was gonna say, go ahead.
I was thinking, like, back to what Brie was saying, like, you know, she's turned high fae and then she was just like a human. I remember thinking, like, all throughout the beginning of the book, they are all just bashing, the humans are bashing the fae, and then fae are bashing the humans. Like, they hate each other. It's like an inferiority, superiority, whatever that word is, complex. And then all throughout the book, just Feyre is like winning everybody over. Everyone loves her. I was like, no one else thinks it's a little strange that like they're talking shit on each other for hundreds of years, then all of a sudden she's like the biggest hot commodity. Maybe just because she's different and she's new and, you know, she's like not like any other human. I just thought that was like a little not weird, but like just kind of caught me off guard. I kind of thought there'd be like a little more conflict on like the human versus fae connection. But
do you mean the people in the spring court, like winning them over?
Yeah, not just the spring court, because even like Alice, like just so quickly like takes her under her wing, but then also like even Brie was saying, like, you know, they're so structured with like the high fae and the lesser fae, and then the humans just like caught me off guard. I think when I was reading it at the time, like how she's a human and like, you know, even as a human, fae can't be trusted. You know, they started this war and that's why we have the wall and all that stuff, and she's just so open with them and vice versa. And
it was interesting to read because she was like, oh, I can't trust the fae, but then she goes over to the fae and they're like, okay, here is a 6-course meal, please enjoy at your leisure. You can do whatever you want, you live here rent free.
Yep, you
Like-
live here rent free, no questions asked. Come
Yeah.
to our amazing days-long festival.
Yeah. Be a
But
hoe.
I think that has to kind of do with like they know about the curse.
that too.
They know that
yeah.
this is the one that's gonna, or possibly the one that's gonna save them.
Mm-hmm.
So you know they understood that somebody had to die
Mm-hmm.
in order to bring her. Somebody had to come and be hate phase
Mm-hmm.
in order to break them from this curse. So obviously, I feel like they would be more likely to be kind to her and in
Yeah.
order to like
That's what made it
help
more
her
sad.
adjust
Yeah.
into her being with Tamlin.
When you figure that out afterwards, it makes it more sad because it's like Becca said, like everybody's being so nice and accepting. So you're like, oh, like maybe everyone's just so nice, and they can be nice, but then it's just like you find out they're just doing it because they have to. But then they come to know her and then do like her. But what if she wasn't who she was and they just hate her, but they have to act like they like her?
Yeah, I did forget about the blight, the curse thing. So
Mm-hmm.
They did call her stupid girl and superhuman multiple times
Yeah.
in the book.
Yeah.
Like she she came back to Alice and Alice was like, "You're so fucking stupid. Like you fucking left. It's all your fault. Look what the hell happened around here."
I mean,
You coulda
was
fixed this
she
curse.
wrong? Like, was she wrong? I don't think she was wrong by
All
calling
she
her
had to
stupid.
say was 3 simple words.
Yeah, really
Blankety,
simple words.
blankety blank. I'm sorry. Too many SpongeBob references.
Oh my god, too many. But really though, like Farrah's the dumb one. Like I don't know. In this book she was kind of dumb. But still love her regardless.
Still love, but like I understand. She's 19. She knows
Nothing.
nothing of the
She
outside
doesn't know how to
world.
read.
Yeah, and like literally not educated. So
Yeah.
I mean, she did the best with what she had.
Yeah. Sydney. Oh my god.
Feyre needs a Kimmy.
Yes. She needs a reading assistant.
Uh-huh.
I like. Wait, what's that TikTok where he's like, "Hua, hua"? He tries to say how, hua.
I don't know. I've never seen that.
Oh my god, that's how I picture it. Hua.
The second trial where she has to read, dude, I was so upset. I was like, who fucking ratted that this girl can't read?
Exactly. Exactly. Oh,
Like to anyone else, you walk over and pull a fucking lever. Like,
I like, and the fact that it was probably Rhysand too. He's like, just so you know, this bitch can't fucking read.
he probably said,
It'd be hilarious if you
It would
made
be
her read.
life or death situation, read real quick.
Oh god.
Oh, that lives rent free.
Honestly,
I
I'd feel
can't.
her pressure because like if someone was like, "Here, solve this algebra."
Or be burned
your
alive.
Yeah,
family's dead. I'd be like, "Fuck."
you just give up.
They're
I
gonna
accept
die.
it.
I just lay down.
Yep, I accept my death. Oh my god,
Bro, I can't
Poor
even do
girl.
simple math now as it is.
Same.
You can't do math. Farrah can't read. You know what? There we go.
Yep.
Perfect.
Understand her pain.
Yeah. So, what would you rate this then, Brie? And then we'll do ours because we read it. a while ago.
I would give it probably an 8 out of 10 just because it was a little slow for me.
Mhm.
Took me longer to get into, but I still enjoyed it. I wouldn't say like I didn't like ever stop or think that I wasn't gonna finish it. I'm like, eventually I will get there, but it just took a while. When it did pick up towards the end, it did. It was pretty good. I was able to kind of run through that pretty quickly, but no, I enjoyed the storyline, the characters in it. Like right now, I'm like madly in love with Tamlin. And I'm like very scared for what's to happen next. Because I just think he's so sweet. But yeah, we'll kind of see what happens. But I'd give it probably 8 out of 10. Good read, worth reading, but it's a little bit slow. But you just got to get through it. It's one of those.
Mhm.
Level spiciness, I probably give like 0.5 chili stars.
Oh my god.
0.5,
The
maybe
0.5.
1, maybe 1. I don't know. No. See, because I feel like even if I had to compare it to like Hurricane Wars, I feel like even Hurricane Wars, even though it was like one chapter,
Oh, they
that
went
was a
hard
spicy,
though. Yeah,
that was a spicy chapter.
that was a spicy.
That
chapter.
wasn't. You know what? Okay, I will give it a 1 because technically they did bang at least twice.
Did they?
At least twice. So.
Like fully bang?
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, before he like kicked her out. It's like, bitch, back your bitch.
You know what? I actually believe that's a classic man move. So I've been on the receiving end of that multiple times.
Whoa.
Not with my husband, but you know.
I was like, hey, it was fun and all, but
Get the
Now get the hell out.
home. It was one of those.
Oh
So you
my
did that
God.
then, and then at the very end of the book, before they went home together.
Oh yeah.
time.
Yep,
You're-
I remember.
So
that.
I will give it 1. I will give it 1.
Mhm.
1 chili pepper.
Yeah, I feel like they weren't too in depth. Like it's
Yeah,
there,
it
but it wasn't.
wasn't-
Yeah, it
Mhm.
wasn't in your face.
Yeah.
Mhm. Quick scenes.
Yeah. You could do yours, Becca, because you read it more recently too.
Cool. Yeah. I think overall score, I'm gonna agree with Brie. I'll give this an 8. I think we kind of had the same. Got knocked down points for the same thing. It was slow to me for sure, but also like I mentioned, it was my first fantasy, so I think like I was just kind of taking extra time to like understand like the world building and a lot of the names dropping and like a lot of like their backstories and everything. I think like it was just taking my brain a little while to catch up. And then also I think like TikTok kind of didn't ruin it for me, but like I was expecting a lot. But like we were mentioning, like I think it's just referred to a series as a whole. It's like a goated series
Mhm.
versus just the first book. Like obviously, she can't pump in the entire story in one book.
Yeah.
So I think it got a lot of hype, and like me personally, I was expecting more, but like it's spread across a bunch of books. But I did like the story. Me, I'm like a banter type of girl. I loved Feyre, and her story, and then like it did end on a happy ending. I was stressed for the last 100 pages, and I'm glad like it worked out in the end. But yeah, and like once this book hit, I was like so excited to continue. So like that was also a really good plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what, Brie? I think I'm right along with you with both ratings. Chili Peppers is like 0.5 to 1 star. The scenes were really quick. Like it was kind of like almost like a slower burn. I remember like the one scene though. I think it's before he sent her packing, where like the last scene where like I think where he bites her neck.
Mhm.
It's like we both crash together and he roars when I scream or something like that. I was like, whoa, okay.
Mhm.
But like that's all we got. But yeah, it was like like you said, kind of just wanted a little more, especially because of all the shit that they went through. Literally like life or death, like being tortured.
Yeah.
Kind of wanted like a little more like out of that. But and I was literally looking up texts from Megan when I was reading this, because I was texting Megan, and one of my texts does say that. I was like, "Where's the fucking spice?" Question mark, question mark. So
Yep.
yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I mean, so mine's just a little bit, that's not too far off from yours, but I think I'd give this one an overall rating of 8.5, 9. Only because I've read it 3 times. Each time I'm engrossed in it. I'm not like when you reread books and you're like, oh, I already know what's gonna happen, like you're like, oh, whatever. But each time I read this, I'm still so emotional and I'm so into it. Like I said before, it does hold that special place, bringing back reading for me, which is something that I loved when I was younger. I always read, and then it dropped off, and to bring it back for me was so important. But I did like this book. I don't think when I read it, I don't think there was anything wrong in my eyes. Like it was like I said before, it was a simple, it is what it is book. It didn't hold anything back, and it didn't, other than the spice, but it didn't allude to anything else. It doesn't even talk about really anything for the next book. Like, it was a book. It was a one solid book. And then I would say for Spice, yeah, it was like a 1. I mean, at the time I was reading it 2 years ago, I thought the Spice was like a 5, but now, you know, reading what we read now, big old whores that we are. Yeah, it's very tame. So I would say, like, in general, not speaking for 2 years ago, but in general, it is like a 1 in the Spice category. I do think that, in my opinion, that was okay, though, because she, you know, looking into it, she did write Throne of Glass, which she wrote when she was a teenager, that series. So, like, to go into this whole new series where you've never even brought up, like, Throne of Glass has, like, no Spice. I'm going to tell you right now. So, to go into a new series and trying that out, it was a good tryout for the Spice levels. But yeah, it was still 1, just because there wasn't a lot. And that was okay, because I liked the story building a little bit more.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't think this not having any Spice didn't affect the book for me that much in terms of, right? Because I really enjoyed her relationship with Tamlin and like how it was developing. It was just very sweet and like innocent, and I was just like, I fell in love with that. I was like, I was having butterflies. I feel in some type of way. Yeah, and that's why I'm like, I'm okay with it, even as it is.
Yeah,
the plot makes up for it, right? Like, it like just enhanced it. It didn't need it, you know. There's so much else going on.
Yeah, and then, like, I already knew too when I read the first book. I had already been told and or maybe saw TikToks about future spicy scenes, so that's why I was like, I'm not too worried about it, just because I know what's coming up. I didn't know what it was, but I know that we're gonna get more. But yeah, that's mine.
Yeah. Awesome.
Right, yay! So I can start book 2, right?
Immediately.
Okay.
As soon as we're done. Right now, open up the book.
I already put my little tabbies on there to match the cover.
Perfect. You have the
I love it.
You have the green cover?
Got a blue scheme.
I have the green cover, yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, well, that's the Valkyrie book club. And we will be back again another time. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Later.